Now, you've kept the door open to more disposal.
Good morning.
As the Monsanto deal drags on. Good morning. What kind of disposals would you be thinking of?
Well, thanks for having me, Francine. And as you mentioned, we are very confident that we are going to close this transaction in Q2. It's slightly delayed because there is more analysis going on, but we are, as a matter of fact, in very good and constructive discussions with the most important regulators. It's, of course, the Department of Justice in the US and then the European Commission. In terms of scope of divestitures, we had already announced in October last year that we are going to divest our large parts of our seeds business and our non-selective herbicides platform, the Liberty Link platform, to BASF. And we have now also announced that we will be divesting of our vegetable seeds business. And there may be other things that might still be discussed, but that's for the time being what is in scope of the divestitures.
Okay, what are your post-Monsanto priorities? What will you focus on, Mr. Baumann, to try and fix the problems at the other units?
Well, first of all, we have had another record year in pharmaceuticals with a growth that was, again, in 2017, above the pharmaceutical markets, with our top growth products reaching $6.2 billion euros and growing by roughly 16% overall. So that was actually very pleasing, also with a strong advancement of earnings. On the other hand, we had two issues. One is the consumer health business, in line with other businesses, facing a fairly difficult competitive situation in the US. Was further enhanced by two products that were recategorized from being over-the-counter to prescription only in China. And then, of course, in crop, we saw a Brazilian oversupply situation with chemical crop protection products in Brazil. Right. As a market leader, we took the lead in addressing it, and we have made very, very good progress in the second half of 2017 in addressing the situation.
Mr. Baumann, you were just talking about the consumer health unit, and you were saying that it was quite, difficult competitively, also because of two products. Why hold on to it then?
Well, we are one of the biggest consumer health businesses, OTC companies in the world. If you look at Bayer as an iconic brand in healthcare, it has tremendous value. And then if you look at some of our very large brands, such as Bayer Aspirin, what a wonderful brand, and what a strength we have built over more than 100 years. We are actually quite confident that we will overcome some of the difficulties that the industry is facing right now and return this business to grow and growth and strong performance.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Bayer Aspirin. It's the official aspirin of Bloomberg Surveillance. I take it daily, Mr. Baumann. Help me here with where cash flow is going. You have terrific EBITDA margins. You've got a massive buildup in free cash flow. Great. How do you keep the ballet going?
Well, first of all, I'm very happy that also you are taking aspirin daily. It's actually great for your health and also for cardiac prevention, so congratulations. There are other very prominent people who are doing that as well. But coming to your question, we have had some very strong cash influx, of course, driven by the divestiture of our Covestro stake. We still own roughly 14% that we will divest of over the short to mid-term. And that has helped the cash position tremendously. We are readying our balance sheet for the acquisition of Monsanto. And then we are going to have very, very strong operating cash flows going forward as a combined company.
Tom, I just need to say, also, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? That's the old school style of things.
Yeah, I'll go with that as well. Mr. Baumann, Mr. Trump does not like American pharmaceuticals. Mr. Trump wants lower drug prices in America. Is the President of the United States correct that pharmaceutical products in America are an outrage?
Well, you know, the American people do, I think, have the right to have access to the best and most innovative products to treat their health positions and their health conditions. From what I've learned, President Trump is actually a great fan of innovation, because innovation does create sustained employment and leadership of the U.S., not only for the local market, but also globally. That's where we are taking our business. And you have to differentiate between innovative pharmaceutical industry and the generic industry, which is quite different.
I mean, Mr. Baumann, I don't know if Bayer's figured into this, but basically 99% of America is buying their drugs out of Canada now because they're dramatically cheaper. What leadership would you like to see from the President of the United States to straighten out prescription pricing in North America?
Well, I think what people are very concerned about is raising co-pays, and that is very much a healthcare provider and insurance issue. From everything I can tell, people who are severely sick are very thankful for innovative products that address their health conditions that might not have been treatable in the past, and that's what we are signing up for in order to actually provide better and healthier lives for people, whether it's with our pharmaceutical products or consumer health products, or in the nutrition field with our crop business.
If you look at your company, Mr. Baumann, once Monsanto again is complete, does it make actual sense for you to have agriculture and then the health giant united in one, or would you consider a split?
Well, we are in the business of building leading businesses in industries that we understand well and where we have capabilities that allow us to lead in these industries. And if you look at the history of the company, we have been actually very, very long, very, very successful in over-the-counter medicines, in prescription medicines, and as a matter of fact, also in chemical crop protection. And what we are doing now is the combination of chemical crop protection, then, of course, seeds and traits and agronomic advice and digital platforms will further advance our capabilities and our businesses. So these are the businesses that we think we have a right not only to play in, but also to lead. And that's what the company is all about.